All right, well, here we are. We are joining. Oh, here she is. So let's bring her in.
Okay. Looks
Okay,
like
Ellen, I see you, but you have to unmute yourself when you have a moment. You have to unmute. There you
Okay.
are. I'm glad you made it back.
Yeah, that's fine. That's good. Cool. Sorry about that.
That's okay. I know it happens. There were to be 5 of us today, but 2 other people, I guess, aren't going to make it today. But due to the time, I'm going to go ahead and get started.
But do it.
So what we're going to do is just go over our red thread circle guidelines. So I hope everybody can see that. I hope it's not backwards for you. Intention, which is preset each circle because it shapes our container and focuses us. Time, spaces, respect, start time by sharing before we begin. If you need to leave early, do so quietly without disrupting flow. Safe space, what's shared in here stays in here, and that provides the confidentiality protection for each of us. Respect all when speaking or sharing, give your full attention, be present, be a great witness so that you are being witnessed also, and whatever time allotments we work with, if I will use a timer, and if you start to go over it, I'll give a little bell ding. Honoring a witness. We listen to, we see, we hear one another. And as we all know, our red thread circles, you're not an audience, I'm not a presenter, we're all in this together. Honoring boundaries beyond these guidelines. This is about your personal boundaries. If something starts to feel uncomfortable for you, or you feel your boundary is being pushed, it's important to speak up and share that, and to do it in a graceful, loving way, not an attacking way. Also sharing, contributing to the circle by sharing your story is important, because what that does is it allows all of us to get involved with one another and to go deeper into our journeys. Love and compassion, grounding and centering into your heart chakra, holds the space for yourself, but also the sacred space for all of us in our sacred circle. Acceptance, agreeing to these guidelines forms a bond of self-care for all gathered and begins our circle consciously aligned. So if all are in agreement, is everyone in agreement?
Oh, yeah.
All right, then let us begin. All right, so at this time, I'll go ahead and mute everyone as we move forward. I'm going to light the candle for our red thread connection, the sisterhood for each of us, and for our sacred space as we move forward into our red thread connection. And may this light match the inner light within you, and may it shine out into the world around us. And today I'm going to do something just a little bit different than I have in other red thread circles. I'm going to draw a card, an oracle card, and see what the keyword is. And this keyword, I feel, is the intention that we're all holding the space for this particular red thread as we move forward into quantum space. And it's whispering, which is interesting, whispering. All right, so welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let us remember our 4 legends. You are already connected. You are called to this circle. You are responsible for your peace, and you are not alone. So I want to have us begin by following our breath in. I'm going to lead us on a very gentle grounding and centering. So if you feel comfortable, allow your eyes to close and turn your focus inward by following our flow of breath, following the breath as you inhale, allowing it to calm and center you, and allowing each exhale to relax you and ground you into this now. So as you shift your focus inward into your sacred center, no matter where it is for you, feel the sacredness of your own center and rest there for a few breaths, your own natural, gentle breath. And imagine, sense, visualize, or perceive that you are like an ancient tree whose roots spring from the soles of your feet and spread deeply into Mama Earth beneath us. And let each exhale continue to ground your roots and anchor your energy into the rich, fertile, healing energy of Mama Earth. And with every inhale, her nourishing, supportive, golden energy rises up your root system, up into your trunk, and fills up your entire body as you become so richly grounded into this now, into this moment in time. And imagine that from the crown of your head, branches of your ancient tree emerge and spread out, reaching high for the heavens, far and wide, high up into the starlight, the cosmos, where your branches connect with the illumination of life. Each inhale brings the heavenly starlight down your branches, into your trunk, centering into the sacred core of you, where starlight and earthlight merge. Become one. Feel the balance within and around you as you breathe richly into your sacred center. Our Lady of the Red Thread, according to thy wisdom, open the doors that need to open. Close the doors that need to close. Mend that which needs mending. Let loose what needs letting loose. Show us the pathway through the tangle, and lead us not to where we need not go. Remind us to keep opening our hearts and to keep them open during hard times. Make faith shine like a light in our minds, and when we stumble too long in darkness, show us the path we cannot see. Take a gentle deep breath in, and when you feel ready to rejoin this circle, allow your eyes to blink open and see the beautiful faces of the sisters here with you. It's so lovely to see you both, and I'm going to invite you to unmute yourselves again.
Okay.
How is everyone feeling today?
Good. Better now.
Yay, we love that.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much.
Oh, I'm so happy you're here. I love Angela. So you might not, you don't know Ellen, and of course, Ellen, you don't know Angela, but Ellen and I are sisters together in the Red Thread. Um, are you in? You're in the guild training, aren't you? You're in to become a thread holder. Are you becoming a thread holder?
I'm just color a woman right
Yeah.
now.
Well, you're still red thread. You're a holder of the red thread, and we're both in the teacher training, intentional creativity. Are you doing the training this year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's a joyful ride. It's a joyful ride, and
Yes, it is.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it sometimes is challenging, but it's a great journey this year.
I'm really loving it. I did my first like half day workshop like Sunday afternoon into the evening, and that was an amazing
Oh, wow.
experience. With yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just I was nervous because the people I were working with do a lot of intense spiritual work, like I know you and I do,
Mhm.
and so I was like, well, you start it's that that ego that comes in, or the critic, boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, nope. And for some reason, I was super calm, and it went so beautifully. They were so really. I got testimonials. It was one. It was 3 women. It was so beautiful. It was just, and I just let it flow. And I'm like, yeah, this is definitely what I want to do. So
Well,
just
that's beautiful news. I mean, really, that's
yeah,
yeah. Congratulations on that, because I know it's a good walk. It's a good walk.
it is.
So,
It
yeah,
is. Well, I'm
it
like,
is.
well, don't back out now. This is what you signed up for, and what else are you doing? So go through a little nerve and just
So true.
start
Yeah,
to do it. Yeah.
it's so true. So I'm going to move us into our intention, our first inquiry for today. We're looking at quantum boundaries, right? And all of us here understand the quantum field, the quantum space, and that our energies connect. It goes beyond, and we all truly become connected energetically. We get that. We understand that connection. And one of the important things that I've begun to look at, especially during this time of kind of Zoom time, of Zoom days, right? I don't know how else to say it, but of Zoom days, when so many of us are coming together through this venue, is that real need for the quantum boundary. And Shiloh talked to us a little bit about it at one of her last gatherings. And when I listened to it, I went, oh yeah, you know what? That's so important for us, because we're in sacred space now, even if I'm not doing a formal circle, or we're not out on the land, or together in a space, we are entering into sacred space. And in our sacred connection, it is now a quantum boundary. And what does that mean for us? And how do we hold that space for one another? We're not just dialing in. I mean, we are forming, I have a hard time using the word container, because for me, it's still sacred space. I still call that sacred space. I haven't made, maybe I'm not choosing to go into the concept of everything being a container. But that's what I'm referring to, is the building of the container. So in our quantum sacred space, I felt for Red Thread today, it would be wonderful to really build that energy, to build that space individually as well as together. Now, Ellen, did you go to the public Red Thread circle? I think it was on last Friday.
No. No.
Okay. They're hard for me to go to, but I found myself going to it. And the little exercise that I'm going to have us do today actually came, it was a little aside thing we did there. And I went, oh my God, that's so powerful. And so red thread. So we're going to be doing that with our inquiry.
Mhm.
But as we're moving in, right, as we prepare to connect up, because I'm going to connect us up in a moment, one of the inquiry I would like you to focus on with the concept of our quantum sacred space here,
Mhm.
of our quantum boundary here, so that the core, the center is right here. The center is right here. It's this, right? It's the camera, that's the center. And if we begin to define the center as that meeting point, because that's where we all are coming together energetically, is through that camera, then we have it identified as what is the true sacred center of all of us. And then we are the boundaries of the quantum field. We're holding, we're the pillars, we're the directions, we're the elements, we're all of that energy space.
Mhm.
Okay, so here's our sacred space right here. Okay, and if we begin to hold that and begin to form that ball of energy around it, and then, of course, we bring that energy out to encompass us and to be beyond us, wherever we define the sacred space, our boundary of our quantum field behind us, which I like to think in terms of it being a good arm's length behind me for our quantum boundary. Then that we now have a circle formed. We now have a true energetic circle formed. I'm a big one on sacred space because I'm a big one on energy, and I'm a big one on keeping everybody safe within that time we're together, because we know through our spiritual work and years of involvement how people can get hurt, you know,
Yeah.
without proper energy and boundaries and circles defined around us. And I don't want anyone ever to go away from a quantum red thread circle or any other energy working with me, feeling like they've been opened up to things that they don't want to be opened up to. And
Exactly.
I think it's kind of like a new, maybe it's a new way of doing circle, really,
Mhm.
you know, and we're sort of ushering that in. We're the grandmothers of it, you know, we're the grassroots of it when you think about it, you
Yeah.
know. And so today the inquiry is going to be what, and I don't have this fully defined, so we can play around for a minute with it, but I feel like it needs to be, what is your quantum field energy for sacred space? What do you want in it? What do
Mhm.
you want to create every time you go into quantum sacred space? What do you want that to feel like for you?
Mm.
You know, and not, and as we define that, as we go into, and I'll put on some music here in a moment, and we can each go into that and journal a little bit about that, and then we'll come out and connect up and share. But we're responsible for our piece of the red thread. So every time we come to a red thread circle or any type of online Zoom ceremony, that's what we are bringing. That's what we're bringing for our own safety, our own security. Even if the other people here that come in don't know that or haven't formed that or really thought about it even. And by defining what that means for us, then it can allow us to know that that's what we're holding into the center. Okay, for ourselves. That's what we're bringing into the center. And we will be safe. And when we come into circle, we also know that what we're bringing goes out energetically to everybody who comes into the quantum boundary, the quantum circle. And anything anything we don't want to come into the sacred circle that someone else is bringing with them, it's not going to get past this energetically, right? So let's just take a moment. I'll put on some music. Let's see, what have I got here? I'll look for like a 4-minute piece. God, some of these are so long. Does everybody like Cynthia Smith? Do you know who Cynthia Smith is? She's
No.
Here's one. So let's go into it. Let me stop it real quick. So let's go into our inquiry and take a moment to journal what comes through you. And then we're going to connect up and we're going to each share that. And then we're going to create our what that looks like. Okay? All right.
That's great.
All right, so here we go.
Her name is carried on the wind, and in compassion's hand. Her work can be felt in the hearts of her friends and in love for the land. Her grace is as the tree that shades the bold sun. Your soul resonates with the song of a life lived through true love. Her beauty lives in the wildflowers bright that bend and sway on the breeze, and her voice lives on in nature's song where the fields and meadows lay. Smile flashing, eyes dancing, laughing she plays, delighting in life along the way. And the depth of her care as she soothed away the tears will live on in the heart and mind. I love giving hearts healing, she does live, and throughout the waves her loving send. Remember the red flower of morn, the true heart of the spirit born. I love giving hearts healing, she does live, throughout the waves her loving send. Remember the red flower of morn, the true heart of the spirit born. love-giving, heart-healing, she does live, and throughout the waves her loving send. Remember the red flower of morn, the true heart of the Spirit born. Remember the red flower of morn, the true heart of the Spirit born.
Okay, take a minute to finish up. Okay, so we're gonna do the first pass of the red thread, and I always ask, I know all your names, we know each other's names, but I always invite everyone to say their name as an energetic calling card to the divine, the divine light that gathers for us. And then go ahead and share your inquiry, and let's take about 3 minutes each to share our inquiry. So I'll begin it, and then I'll pass it on, and then pass it to the next person, and whoever gets it last, pass it back to me so that I can connect us. Okay, here we go. So I'm Kismet, and my inquiry response was my quantum boundary of sacred space for self and others via Zoom, online, etc., is the security of knowing love embraces, encompasses, and protects the boundary, and within is sweet breath of life and sharing. No harm will pass from me through the center to others, nor will less than positive energy that others bring pass through the sacred center into my quantum space. I stand as a pillar of light, love, and hold my piece of the red thread with integrity. So it is, and so it will be.
And so it is.
And let me pass the red thread. I'm going to pass the red thread to Ellen, our guest, our first time today.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm Ellen, and this was a beautiful thing that came through. So thank you for that inquiry. What came through was guides of light coming through, and the light of illumination in through and around all of us, connecting us to the threefold flame of our hearts. And the sapphire blue of Archangel Michael and Estrella literally just expanded all around us from our heart. And it's funny because the camera's right here, so I that was the center for me when you were talking, and I'm like, okay, I feel this. In a diameter protecting our sacred space and our quantum field of love, lots of pink divine love of the Divine Mother was with us, is with us, and went up through and around, and our I am presence up to the core of creation, back through us to the sun of even pressure within the earth, and just connecting us to all that is divine. And with that, I would say we are solid. And the word I got when you started speaking earlier was, you were talking about the sacred, the quantum space, because there's so many ways to describe it. And through all the work we've been doing through Cal, it's like the chalice.
Yes.
So for me, you were actively creating that chalice. And that word came right back in, and I'm like, yeah, this is a chalice of sacred space that we can choose the cup of our chalice, and we can also choose to have it overflow out through into the earth through the grid systems and out to touch people in the way of love. And so that was pretty cool seeing that happening. Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
that. I got it.
Yeah, me too. Oh yeah, God bumps. Pretty cool. So thank you for that. I think it's a meditation in itself, right?
Yes, yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you very much. And I pass the red thread to Angela.
Thank you. I got some words, so I'll read those. I bring kindness and listening to the edges of my cosmic circle to welcome whoever seeks to enter. But I also bring a filter of love to protect the entrance from any outside ill will or mistrust. My cosmic circle is a safe space where I and others can uncover our heart aches and desires.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Oh,
Very nice.
love that.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Wow.
And
Beautiful.
I pass it back to you, Kisma.
Thank you. And we are all connected. And even though we're individuals, we know that we are always here in the red thread together. Not only us, but the outer circles, the inner circles, the circles beyond the earth circles, that we are very well connected. And with our connection now, what I would like to invite us to do is to, in either our journal or on a piece of paper or canvas, whatever you feel, to begin to paint or use markers or whatever, that quantum safe space that you receive, to begin to bring it out of you onto the substrate. So what I'll do is I'll put on, you may not finish it during our time, but it will begin, and it will begin in this energy that we've woven together and that we're holding together. And then if it doesn't get finished in our time, of course, you'll have that to continue to work on and develop and bring out. So I'll put on about 10 minutes of music, and then when that 10 minutes is over, we can each share and maybe just say a minute or two of what that felt for us, what it brought out for us. Okay. And
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. I'm going to put on some, let's see, I'll put on this one. This is a nice one. And take another minute to finish up what you do.
Okay.
And as you focus on your painting or your design that you've got started, I'm going to read one of Shiloh's poems, and just at the end of it, maybe allow a private message to come to you, and make a note of it in your journal. What do you think? I'm going to go ahead and do a quick mute just a moment.
Sure.
What do you think? If we do not know how to think, how can we know who we are? If we do not know who we are, how can we know how to act? How then can one design a life that reflects that beingness? Is it sufficient to roam, short-sighted about self, not really knowing from who or what we come or where we really want to go? If we agree that to know ourselves is one of the most primal and most basic pursuits of humankind, then why is it that we are not given the tools to discover ourselves as part of our essential education? The pursuit of self-knowledge seems of primary significance to saving of ourselves and our world if it is to be saved. How can we know what we truly, deeply love if we do not know what it is or how to find it? This turning towards what you deeply love saves you. Okay. And take a few minutes or a minute to finish up with making notes. We're going to pass the red thread a second time and a final time today. And as the red thread tugs on you, share what came up for you during this painting. And if you want to share anything of your private message, that's up to you. But we'll take about 2 minutes each to do that. And I'd like to, and please, please, please share what you've begun or finished by holding your paper up or journal up. And I'll start off, I guess, and then I'll say a name, and then we'll go to all three of us. Yeah, and don't forget to unmute yourself. Okay, so I feel really happy and really good. I felt for the first time um, that a real circle had formed. I have been feeling the circle forming, but today it felt like it finally, for me, solidified in the quantum space. That just by giving it that focus and that opening to come fully in, maybe for me, and that made me feel really good and safe, and that, oof, it's really happening. It's really doing it, you know. Um, and I didn't worry about energy. I didn't worry about anything. It felt good. It felt filled with light. It felt filled with love. It felt filled with our togetherness, all of our togetherness. And so I chose three colors, or maybe, yeah, four colors, and I just had them here to start off with. And the radiations of the pink spiral started first as the sacred center. Just started flowing out in dots. Pink dots are all over the page, of course, representing how the energy just sparkles out from our quantum center, and it turned into the radiations of purple and teal, and just really got strong. And then I heard, oh, but I'm just like the Willendorf goddess, so would you put me right into your sacred center? And so I started her. So that's what the kind of yellow ochre design is in the center of the sacred spiral, is a very voluptuous goddess figurine, but we're so used to painting those right now that it was easy to pull her right in, you know. And when I sat with her and I opened to her, the message that came in really loud and clear with regards to the sacred center of quantum circles and the quantum boundary of sacred space is, you know, you've always trusted, so trust the process. And if it feels safe, it is. If it doesn't feel safe, then just fortify your space, the sacred center. And so it was just a good reminder of knowing that it's not always going to feel safe, right? So, and I'll pass it to Angela this time. But unmute yourself, Angela.
Actually, pass it to Ellen because mine's printing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, for me, I really stayed with the chalice because, you know, I felt that sacred space too, really surrounding us. And so what I did was I worked in marker to kind of start to see what was going to happen. And I don't know if you can see it, but it's, you know, it's all backwards, but it's just this chalice overflowing and illuminating right within the cup of creation, and just overflowing. And there's the red thread connecting us, because I really feel it, not only through the chalice, but out, and also intertwining and overflowing, and then it's just illuminating out. And it was kind of fun to work with marker. I just got these new these brushes, and it's great just to get ideas down real quick.
Yeah.
You know, so I did that, and here's the foundation, which is, I mean, it's huge, but it's like the saucer, it's the circle, and then the chalice coming out of our sacred circle. And I'm like, wow, that's really big. And then I realized that is our circle, that is our strong, thick foundation. And then here's the chalice just moving up through and around that. So that's what happened. I let it go. I didn't try to control it. And yeah, and so the safety, because you've really focused on the safety. And, you know, in these times, it's important. So between the safety and something you said, Kisma, between what you said and Angela said something along those lines where it just, I felt like for that safety, and it actually has been coming up for me, but I was able to actually make sense of it today, for lack of a better way to say it, is if we stay in that moment of an idea, of a thought, and we work from within the sacred flame in our heart, then we're always in that moment, and it keeps us out of fear. And when we're in our heart, I mean, we feel safe. I mean, for me, I do. So it's a way of not blocking what's going on in the outside world. But I don't want to live in that. I want to kind of be in this world, but not really of it, you know. So, you know, that famous quote, be in this world, not of it. And from right now, that has more depth for me, you know, than anything else. And who knew this was all coming? So all those tools that we've all, you know, have gathered throughout these years, because I know we've all been doing this work a long time. Yeah, they're really important to be, and I'm happy when people remind me of stuff that's the basics. Sometimes going back to the basics is so needed. You're like, oh yeah. So holding that sacred container, the chalice, the quantum field around us, and trying our best, because a lot of the workshop I did on Sunday night was living in that, living through your heart.
Yeah.
So belonging, really, how do we empty everything that's maybe blocking us from belonging to our heart? When we belong to our heart, and when we belong in our heart, really, you're with high, you're in the higher realms. So functioning that way through these times, for me, is becoming the practice.
It's become, yeah.
It's got to become the practice, because it's not always, believe me, it sounds, you know, it's not easy to do all the time, but it's a practice. And so I'm open to anybody, if they see me going off the rails, just slap me right back in. I'm honest about it.
No, I love it. I love it.
So yeah.
Ellen,
so-
I love that when we look at you, you have a halo of your fan going.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
I know, isn't it bizarre? And I, you know, because I'm on my phone, it's like, how do I do this? But it's really weird.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's like you have this dynamic halo.
Yeah,
It's kind of like a repeller.
Yeah.
A little bit.
awesome.
Thank you, Angela.
Well, you don't know this about me yet, Ellen. I'm a digital collage artist. Is
Awesome.
what I do.
Awesome.
So I do things on the computer that are bringing pieces from other sources. So anyway, I ended up with 3 circles with
Oh.
words that I said, and then a heart with several people in the heart. I did it in these 3 colors. I started out with green as welcoming. I wasn't sure what color I meant should use for protection. And then red is the heart, obviously. And then I realized that red, blue, and green are the 3 basic colors in light.
Okay. Yes.
You know, not CMYK, but RGB.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I really liked that it was blue. So that's what I came up with for my words.
Yeah, that's wonderful, Angela.
It's beautiful. I love it so much.
Yeah. Wow. See, we're all so there.
Yeah.
We really are. We're also there, and I feel it. I know I feel it. So I love it. I'm so happy and thankful that you are both here. And I always trust that the people who show up are who I'm supposed to be with,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And so it's always good. It's always good. Always good. So let me ask you, Ellen, have you done your red thread? Do you have your red thread assignment qualifications for the IC book yet?
I'm not sure what you mean exactly.
One of our assignments is to do a red thread circle for the IC book.
Oh yeah, yeah, I have.
Okay,
The
because
first one, yeah, I want to do more with that because the first one I did, actually it was fun. I did metacognitive drawing,
oh yeah,
which was really, really fun. And two-fisted, which was
yeah, I've got that too. I love it.
I love, there's something about it. And I think as we are, you know, artists and doodlers, so to speak, my whole life, I didn't realize that I was actually, we're all actually, when you do, you're actually doing that. You just, because I'm one for just like, all day. I can just do that all day. You know, I'll draw on you if you sit still long enough, napkins, paper towel, whatever's in front of me, we draw on, right?
Draw.
So yeah. So that was my first one. And then I had done a medicine basket actually with somebody,
Okay.
and a couple other people didn't make it, so it was one person, and I just did the 3 people in a half day. So it was like 3.5, 4 hours. I would qualify that as half day.
Okay.
And
I was gonna say offer our red thread circle here if you needed that to you.
yeah,
More than welcome to be the circle leader if you needed an assignment.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you so much.
Well,
Thank you.
since we're coming to the close of our time together, I did want to just put this out there, and I know it's so last minute, and I apologize for that, but I'm doing my grand finale, IC3, the 13-step workshop this Saturday.
Oh wow.
And both of you are welcome to come and be my guest if you want to. I actually put it out there as a public pay thing. Right now I think I've had 5 people say they were interested. I might only have 1 live, everybody else is Zoom. I have one in Australia who's going to be working Zoom and through the recordings that I make. But
Okay.
it's 10 a.m. Pacific time to 3 p.m. Pacific time. And I think we'll be able to cover everything. And if not, I did say Sunday would be at 10 a.m. To maybe like 12 for a couple of hours to finish up if needed.
Okay.
I am doing the honey jar. That's what I'm going to be doing. And I worked on a 24 by 24 canvas. If either of you felt like you wanted to come, you're more than welcome. You could work on whatever you wanted, you know, whatever size canvas, paper, in a journal with whatever supplies you have, basically. But I do want to put that out there. That's available to both of you if you'd like to come, and I know it's last minute. So if you decide you'd like to come, just shoot me an email and I can get you kind of like the rest of the information for Saturday.
All right. Yeah.
And aside from that, our next red thread circle is not until August 11th. We do it every other week.
Every other week is good. Yeah.
Yeah, so we do it August 11th. And I know, Ellen, that we all get crazy with Facebook groups, but we do have a private Facebook group that only ladies who come to the Red Thread Circles get invited into. If you want to be in yet another Facebook group, you're more than welcome. It's a pretty quiet group. All I do is post reminders to it, and every now and then I post something that's a sharing or a video that I've created that I'm just sharing. We'll sometimes post our work, our things that we've created to that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'll send you the invite to it.
Yeah.
If you wanted to come in. I think there's all of 5 of us in there, 6 of us. It's very small.
Sure.
And other than that, I just mostly send out the notices through that meetup group that you joined. So
Yes. Yeah, that would be great. Yeah. As far as this weekend, I tentatively have my son coming down from upstate New York. So if he doesn't, I will absolutely consider it. I will let you know.
Okay. Yeah. No problem. No problem. And I think that's about it. I don't have to. Do either of you have any last thing you want to share before we snip?
I just want to say thank you. Thank you. This was amazing. It's so nice to meet you, Angela. This is just freaking great.
You're very welcome. I'm happy you came in. When I saw you that you joined the meetup group, I went, yes, that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I saw it was you. I'm like, oh, hell yeah.
That's very
I'm
cool.
like, yes, I'm in. Yeah.
I'm
great. Because I'm deciding how I'm going to start all, getting my Sapphire Studios, page up and all of that. I've been working, doing all the written assignments and all that's been going well. But anyway.
Yeah, if you ever want to chat about any of that, just let me know and we can always get together on Zoom and have just kind of a look-see at things. Because I know we're all kind of moving out in all different directions right now, but yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, I will do that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Angela, did you have anything that you wanted to share?
No, dear.
Okay. Well, I just ask for blessings on all of us. May you both be embraced in the wonderful energy that we've created today. May it go with you. And until we come back into this space, I do know and believe that it is there as a chalice waiting for us to reconnect with it, and that's what's being taken out into the quantum world of life.
Yes.
And so blessings to each of you. And I'm going to, Ellen, let's see, who did I connect at first? So Angela, I'm going to snip you apart. And Ellen, I'm going to snip you apart. And I'm going to snip me apart. And we are standing as individuals now, but we are always, always connected. We are not alone. And if we are ever in need of one another, all we do is give a tug on the red thread. And you can do that in one of 2 ways. You can either post, I'm tugging on the red thread in the meetup group, and I'll contact you immediately, or you can, in our Facebook group, say, I'm tugging on the red thread, and then all of us sisters who are in that will listen and witness. And we do only ask one thing, that if in the Facebook group you say, I'm tugging on the red thread, that you indicate whether you just need to get something off your chest because life is giving you a curveball, or whether you want feedback, whether you want, so be very clear with what you want in your red thread tugging, because
I like that.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Mm.
Thank you, beautiful ones.
Bye.
So good to be with you both.
Same here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye
All right.
for now.
Bye. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.